I'll just start by saying thank you. Thanks for joining us and doing this podcast for the kids and for the families of the First Tee. We really appreciate it and miss having you around here, but good to see you. So first, just so all of our families know who you are and your relationship to the First Tee. So if you could just speak a little bit about that, who you are, your relationship to the First Tee, and what you're doing currently.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm Cailey Rooker. I grew up in St. Joe since I was like 1. I started with the First Tee when I was, I think, around 8, when we were at the other location by Blossom Trails. At the Boys and Girls Club, the old Boys and Girls Club.
Yep.
And I went to St. Joe High School, graduated, and now I'm at Valparaiso University. I'm still playing golf, and I'm playing golf at Valpo. Hopefully next fall I will be too. And then other than that, what else should I add? I've grown up through the First Tee, and I've had a lot of amazing experiences through the program. I recommend it for any individual, whether they're into golf or not. It doesn't have to be that summer camp where you just go and like play a sport all day. Like, you hang out with your friends and get to know different people from all over the area and really get an idea of like what there is to offer outside of just the game of golf. All the different core values like really implemented who I guess I've become today through the First Tee.
That's excellent. Well, that's always good to hear. How was your first year of college?
It was good. I really enjoyed kind of starting somewhere new, meeting new people. I was kind of afraid because nobody from this area has gone to Valpo. Actually, here's a funny story, really quick. So the new football coach at St. Joe, his daughter goes to Valpo.
Oh,
and
awesome.
she's in my grade, and I just met her the other day through Zoom. And because she was like, I don't know where to do my field experience for physician assistant. And turns out she lives in St. Joe, and I was like, oh, like we can meet up. Anyway, but so that was funny. But so I go to Valpo, and I'm in the physician assistant program. Fall was good. It was a little slow start, getting to know different people on the team, even like in the school, because it's a small school. But once I found my friend group and got settled in with the team, I really enjoyed the campus and all the opportunities it has. Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, Coach Ryan.
Cailey, the First Tee has 9 core values. Do you remember all 9?
Do I remember all that?
It's okay. I got it here for you. The 9
I
core
saw
values.
that there's a 10th inclusion.
Yes, very good. So the 9 are honesty, integrity, confidence, respect, judgment, perseverance, courtesy, responsibility, and sportsmanship. And in 2007, the First Tee of Benton Harbor added a 10th one, inclusion.
Okay.
Which of these core values best resonates with you and why?
When I saw this question, I bounced back and forth between perseverance or sportsmanship. I think I've always held on to perseverance, though, as the main core value that I've held on to, because, I mean, in any situation, you have to figure out your way to succeed and get what you want in the long run. So I think perseverance for me, whether it was in golf, whether it was in school, I always just told myself to look on the bright side of things, and no matter what, to just hang in there. It's not always going to be easy, and not everything's going to be handed to you, for sure. I think for most of my junior golf career, I definitely struggled with like seeing girls who could afford to go play at different tournaments across the country and like AJGA, and I thought like, oh, like if I can't do that, then like I'm not going to get as good as them or stuff like that. But I definitely think through persevering to the fact that like not everything is handed to you, you have to work your butt off to get what you want, and just like taking a different route not always just following what the norm is really what I just held on to. And whether that was in school as well, I mean, I took a lot of AP classes, and that challenged me because I wanted to be the best I could be in school and golf. And sometimes it was easy and sometimes it wasn't. So definitely perseverance.
Very good.
Awesome. Great answer. Cailey, some of our guests that we've interviewed have extensive golf backgrounds, and others are still pretty new to the game. I think it's safe to assume your background in golf is pretty extensive. I would love to hear a little bit more about your golfing background and why you enjoy the game so much.
Yeah, I mean, I've golfed ever since I can remember. I think my dad took me out when I was like 5 or 6, and that's where I was at Blossom Trails, just at the par 3 with him. But I took it a little more seriously once I was in middle school, and I realized that I had a better chance of getting maybe a golf scholarship for college versus volleyball, which was my second favorite sport. And I also competed with my older sister, who was in high school already, to try and beat her all the time. And I was like, oh, I'm going to beat her records as soon as I get to high school. So that definitely was one of the like driving factors for me to like continue playing golf. I also enjoyed it a lot because I got to play with my dad, and he works a lot, so I had to have the opportunity to play with him when he had the days off to play. So that was fun. But yeah, as far as like my experience goes, it really was all through the first tee. I mean, I can't say any more than that. I had so many amazing opportunities, whether it was the Wells Fargo Championship, where I got to shadow. It was kind of like I was called an honorary observer, which I just got to walk in the ropes with Phil Mickelson during, I think it was 2016, 17. I don't remember what year, but it was in Wilmington. And so that was really cool. I got to talk with him after, and just, he was a really, really down-to-earth person to talk to. I mean, he wanted to know, like, what my intentions were with the game of golf, where I wanted to see myself in, like, 5 years. And then in addition to that, I mean, the College Prep Academy in West Palm Beach, or the Life Skills Experience where I started in Minnesota. And then finally Pebble Beach. That was one of my favorite experiences with Colin Montgomery or even Tom Watson there. I mean, I could go on and on with all the different cool experiences just the first tee program has given me, because I will never forget the memories I've made through them, or the people I've met. I mean, some of my best friends I still communicate with are across the country from the first tee. And I'm sad that, like, not all the golfers in the junior golf get to experience this program. I think some people just, like my teammates at Valpo, thought their areas weren't blessed to have the program 5 minutes away from their house. So, I mean, that's my golf experience from 8 years old to where I am now, was you guys. So
Well, that's all thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say I'm a younger sibling, and so I spent my entire childhood just trying to beat my brother, and that pushed me to be, you know, pretty decent when I was in high school, and he had the same experience. Like, I know Courtney was a really good player.
yeah.
Um,
And Courtney always gets frustrated now when we go out and play. She's like, I'm just not as good anymore. We got to figure this out. And she wants to, like, practice for hours. And I'm just like, Courtney, enjoy the game. Like, you don't need to take it so seriously anymore.
that sounds, I know that. So for our kids that are listening in, we've got, you know, we start at 5 years old, we work our way all the way up. You know, where you are now in college and playing golf in college, but even just your college experience, you know, are there things that you know now that you wish you knew kind of, you know, a couple of years ago or back when you were a kid that you would tell one of our younger participants, you know, to be ready for?
Yeah. So in high school, or even like closer to my senior year, I definitely struggled with the fact that, like, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with the game of golf. I just knew I wanted to play in college somewhere. I wanted to, one, keep playing and, like, because I love competition, and then the second one was save myself some money and get a scholarship somewhere. But the thing that I wish I knew then that I know now is that you don't have to take the same route as everybody, like I kind of said earlier, to achieve like what you want. So like when I first found Valpo,
Sorry about the dogs.
when
I can't control them. They're out of control.
When I first found Valpo, I was very, I was almost hesitant in a way that like, oh, like I had so many different signs that were pointing me towards Valpo versus like just going with where I wanted to go. Do you know what I mean? So like I had so many different signs that told me to go to Valpo, but I wouldn't accept them. I was very like, I don't know, like I have 7 relatives that went there. I kind of want to do something different. Or they gave me the opportunity to play with this really good coach, and she seems like she has a good head on her shoulders, and she's going to help me improve in the long run. And I think all those things I just like kept ignoring, but I needed to accept. And so the thing I wish I knew was just to listen to the signs and go with your gut, even though like you might envision something else. Right. So like even though what you envision for your future doesn't happen, there's things along the way that set you up to get what you do. You know what I'm trying to say? So like
oh, absolutely.
I definitely think everybody has their own path, and you can't plan your own path. You just have to go with what is laid out to you and what is given to you in the beginning to help you succeed.
Very nice.
Makes perfect sense. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. Thanks, for taking the time. Thanks for dialing in with us. These will be shown to all the kids and pretty much anybody in our First Tee kind of network of families and friends that as we're kind of going through this COVID situation, right. We are offering these virtual classes as opposed to getting face to face. But
this is a cool idea.
Oh, thank you. This is all Josh. This is all Josh. Is the
it's a team effort.
But I also want to thank you for kind of over the years, you've done so much volunteer work and so much with helping with younger kids when we have our classes and taking out groups and things of that nature. And even on the evenings when we play at Harbor Shores, being willing to take out some of the younger ladies and kind of mentor them around the course. So we definitely appreciate you. Appreciate you taking
That's
the
time. Best part. I wish I could have done it more this summer because I was ready to do it, but I'm disappointed with COVID.
We'll get back after it next summer, Cailey. If you're around, we'll get you lined up.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that, and I want to always give back to everything you guys have done for me. So I can't thank you enough for all the endless opportunities and experience I've had to just reflect on and really appreciate, for sure.
Well, thanks so much. And thank you to your family. Everybody in your family has done so much for us as well. And happy anniversary and happy birthday, Paul, and all of that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
thank you guys.
We'll be tracking you this year in school and checking on scores and all that good stuff. And
thank you
as well. So thanks again for taking the time.
Of course,
Thanks,
of course.
Thanks,
all right,
Cailey.
It was good to see you guys.
Good to see you
Take
too.
care.
See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.